Today, I will be explaining about the movie Social Dilemma, how it affects us and how is it related to our experience, and what responsibilities we must accomplish. There will be certain questions asked, and I am ready to answer each one. Yes, there were a lot. This movie was so relatable, especially to kids, teenagers, and young adults. That includes me. Of course, I have experienced the same thing. I used social media as my relaxation from schoolwork, but I couldn't control myself because I tend to overuse my cell phone just to watch YouTube videos, react to new posts in Facebook, and I slept late because of that. Although there's an exception when eating breakfast and dinner, because in my family, we all eat together during these times, except for lunch, because my mom goes to work, my sister, who is also a teacher, is having a class, and my grandmother eats her lunch early, so I'm left by myself. Use technology wisely and productively. Technology has great roles to play in schools, work fields, or asking for directions, and even at home. For digital literacy based from the movie, we'll learn how to use social media for school learning, explore websites that help us fulfill our activities, and apps that assist us in doing our tasks. ICT policies help in promoting digital literacy. It allows us to compete with today's generation. We learn how to use these digital tools so we don't get left behind. It also helps in building connections. Since we're talking about ICT, I'll also share some responsibilities that we needed to do. First, we talk about the health issues of ICT. Our exposure to gadgets just to surf on our social media accounts for longer hours really does not help us at all in any way. These only lead us to more sleepless nights that affects our body, especially our eyes, because of the radiation it gives. Iko kay ko ane, because I am here explaining to you how it affects us, but utro sa day kong kahig ulo. It's just so ironic. I think this should be the start where I change my bad habits. Next is the safety issues of ICT. When we use our gadgets in doing our work, we must obtain a clean, free environment. We must always check our cables if they're plugged well. And please do not overcharge your gadgets because it will lead to explosion. Lastly, the social, ethical, and legal responsibilities in the use of technology tools and resources of ICT. In social media, before we post anything, we must think before we click. In every post that we commented or reacted, we must remain respectful to the person who did the post. If you really cannot do that, at least practice constructive criticism. And don't give too much of your personal information on your social media accounts so that it remains secured and no one can try to trace or hack you. As a student, I should follow the 10 rules of netiquette. In this way, I am responsible for everything I do online. As a technology user, I must use technology when I needed to for school or work purposes. And I also wanted to limit its use because I wanted to give more time to bond with my family and friends. I don't want technology to be the center of my life. We are all social beings. We are made to interact and mingle with other people, no matter if we're introverts or extroverts. We are all the same. We need someone to talk to play with, to laugh with, to cry with, and so on. This is who we are. As a future teacher, I want to influence my students to be more open in the real world, not the world inside their gadgets. For me, it is better to share one's thoughts, feelings, emotions, complaints, and others to the person you want to share it with or to whomever you address it. It feels different when you do it in social media because there are many people who can see your posts. Some don't care, some cares, some disagrees, some agrees, some give their opinions, some give facts, and there are also some who criticizes and some who approves. And we don't really know if these things are what they really feel or if it's the truth. When confronting someone, it is better to do it personally or face to face. Hurting the person you hate indirectly makes you a coward. In other words, let us avoid cyberbullying. Because if we continue to do this stupid act, then we are also cowards.